Hello, Giants fans. So today I'm going to be going over the preseason week 1 game. Pretty much every play from the starters start on defense, and not all of it was pretty, mostly ugly, honestly. But I'm going to go over where it went wrong and all that kind of stuff and just break it down. So the first play was just a 4-5. Let's keep an eye on Tay Davis, I believe, right here. And, it was only a 4-yard pickup, so I can't really complain too much. But I honestly wish he had better recognition and kind of exploded towards Montgomery rather than retreat into the tackle. You'll see what I'm talking about. He kind of stands there, doesn't gain any momentum. And at this point, like right here, when you know Montgomery has the ball, he should be able to see it, right? He pretty much has his eyes on the ball and Montgomery at that point. And at this point, he should be going right towards the line of scrimmage, right there. But he pretty much stands back there, really doesn't move much, kind of lets Montgomery come to him. And instead of it being a 1-yard gain, it turns into like a 4-yard gain because Montgomery gains that momentum and pushes himself forward for a few extra yards. So it's not terrible, but something they'll clean up in the film room. So, luckily it is preseason. So play number 2, we all wanted the pick 6 obviously on this play. We didn't get it, but it was still a really nice play by the Giants defense overall. Liked a lot of what I saw here. And, unfortunately could not make the play, but hey, it's still a pass deflection, saves a first down. But even if Peppers wasn't there, DeAndre Baker is basically right on it. The ball's right here, DeAndre's right here, ready to lay out a big hit. Obviously puts him into the Giants bench. Very nice hit there, but, there wasn't really much I can say about a pass rush because it was literally a one-step drop for Sam Darnold. In real time, he gets this pass off in 2 seconds maybe? Really not going to be able to sack someone in that amount of time, so I can't really say much there. But a nice play from our new safety, so you always like to see that. So this was the big play in the game for the Jets' first team, the big Chris Herndon completion. And a lot went wrong here, from the pass rush to, Jabril Peppers, maybe even Julian Love. We'll have to look into this a little bit. So let's watch the pass rush first. Marcus Golden and Lorenzo Carter create some pressure. One of our defensive tackles, I think B.J. Hill, got there as well. Try to figure out who it is exactly. This looks like a 95. So yeah, B.J. Hill gets some pressure up the middle. Olsen Pierre got no pressure on this play whatsoever. And then Chris Herndon's down the field. So if you watch Chris Herndon, who I believe is number 89, right here he is. So Peppers is on him right here, and it looks like he's going to pass him off to Julian Love, but Julian Love seems unaware of it, and then Jabril Peppers pretty much is left in the dust. So it seems like right here he's passing him off, expects Love to pick him up, but Love has to pick up this receiver on the drag coming down here. So I'm pretty sure Jabril Peppers was supposed to stay with him, if I had to make an educated guess on that one. And then right here, Jabril Peppers is like, oh crap, like he's not guarding him. Because let's say if Jabril stayed here, then he could have accounted for him. But if Julian Love, stays here, then he's accounted for. But both of them were not on the same page, obviously, and Chris Herndon's wide open downfield. So that's what happens. And I feel like it's just a communication issue. It's 2 guys playing in the first year under Betcher's system, and one of them was playing in his first NFL action, so I can't really blame them for that play. I don't know if they show a replay or not. They do. Let's try to see something from here. It really did look like Peppers was passing him off, so I think he expected Love to be there. It obviously was not the case, so just a miscommunication, and once again, thank God it's preseason because that's not something you want to see in the regular season. So this one's pretty easy to dissect. Have to look at Tay Davis here. Didn't do his job on this play, so the Giants are going to send Julian Love on a corner blitz here when this starts. Slot corner blitz, however you want to say it. And Jamison Crowder, what he's going to do, he's going to come down over here, stop, it looks like his route's over, and then go all the way over here. He'll be wide open. These guys over here, they're not going to be here when the play starts up, and basically Tay Davis is responsible for this side of the field over here with no help on this side. So watch Tay Davis's head, though. He definitely gets caught peeking in the backfield and doesn't really watch Jamison Crowder, and they go opposite directions. Crowder ends up picking up 20 yards on this play. So watch Tay Davis one more time. He needs to watch Crowder on this play. I don't know why his eyes were on Sam Darnold. Maybe he expected Sam Darnold to leave the pocket, but Giants had a pretty good pass rush on him at that point, so he needs to watch Jamison Crowder on that play. That needs to be fixed. We'll see if there's a replay. They show the pass rushers. Lorenzo Carter had a nice pass rush here. He pretty much got into the pocket, but Sam Darnold just steps back, flicks his wrist, and has an open receiver on one side of the field. So pretty easy throw for their quarterback there. But they need to fix that with Tay Davis. So here we have another 4-yard gain by Montgomery. This time it's via the pass. The thing that really stood out here is how comfortable Sam Darnold was, which was not good. That's not good news for your defensive line if the opposing quarterback is this comfortable. Watch Darnold on this play. He just goes through his reads. He looks left, just moves his feet. Then all of a sudden has Montgomery breaking out to the right. They pick up a decent gain. And Tay Davis is kind of in, not a good spot there. Obviously, Montgomery's a former receiver. He's a tough guy to guard. And I don't blame Tay Davis because if Montgomery cut in on this play right here, then this spot of the field's open and you potentially give up a touchdown. So I don't blame Tay Davis for what he did on this play. It's tough to guard that, obviously. But they did pick up 4 yards only, so it didn't kill them on this play. But, if you're a Jets fan, you have to be very excited for Sam Darnold. I know this is a Giants channel, but if you're a Jets fan, you have to love what you see from him. I know he almost threw the pick six earlier, but he looks so comfortable as compared to what we saw last year. So it's going to be interesting to see what Sam Darnold does in year 2. So here's another play where the Jets get only a few yards on the run, their second run of the drive, I believe. And I want you guys to watch Marcus Golden here, and the tackle was made by, I believe this is number 47, Alec Ogletree, who switched from 52 to 47. I actually forgot about that. I was watching this game, and I was like, who the hell is 47? But then I was like, oh yeah, he switched. So I didn't know that at first. And I'll have you guys watch something else after this. Hold on. Let's just watch the play develop real quick. So Marcus Golden, he got around this guy at one point. I think that was Herndon blocking him. So, it's not that impressive. But still, almost got there. And then Ogletree, I believe it was, takes care of him. But I want you guys to watch. I believe this is Kaliche Osemele for the Jets right here, who they traded for from the Raiders. On the first play of the game, he lit up DeMarcus Lawrence. He absolutely bodied him. I think it was Lawrence. If you go back and watch it, I should have pointed that out. But he looked good in this game. I know it was only one drive, but still another thing for Jets fans to look forward to. I don't want to praise the Jets too much, but there were some positives from the Jets in this first drive, obviously. So I just realized I called Dexter Lawrence DeMarcus Lawrence. My apologies for that. But I did go back and watch the first play, and Osemele obliterated Alec Ogletree on that play and Dexter Lawrence. It was pretty impressive, honestly. He's a former, I think, first-team All-Pro a few years ago with the Raiders. If he comes back healthy, that's a huge addition for the Jets O-line. I still like Kevin Zeitler more, but, I'm just saying he had a really nice drive. So this is where the Jets scored the touchdown and some rookie mistakes here. And what I think they should have probably traded guys on this play. They probably should have switched. The best angle obviously is right here. There was really no way for Julian Love to cover this. If he went up here, he was still going to catch it. If he went down here, you're still trailing him. Maybe if he went underneath, maybe he had a shot at intercepting him, but still, that was pretty well placed ball by Sam Darnold. So I think what they have to do here is they have to switch. And at this point in the play, when Baker realizes his guy's going this way, I think he needs to shout, switch, and then these guys switch off. And obviously Baker would now guard this slot receiver in Crowder, and then Julian Love has, I think this is Quincy Enunwa. I think that's the only way you can guard this play, honestly. What they did there obviously was not what you're supposed to do, and it worked to perfection for the Jets. But I think if you're the Giants, what has to happen here is Baker needs to call for a switch. That needs to happen. And, then they would have a much better position to play defense on this ball. But obviously, Crowder was wide open, so that's unfortunate. But hey, they'll fix it, hopefully, for the regular season. So this play was a negative run for the Jets by, this time it's Elijah McGuire at running back. And watch Lorenzo Carter, and watch Dalvin Tomlinson too. He gets pretty good pressure. Lorenzo Carter was just left. His guy left him to go block someone else, and Lorenzo Carter just had a free tackle right there. I think as long as you had a good technique, I think anyone would have made that tackle. But, hey, it's a free tackle, so take it, Lorenzo. And the thing that not concerns me, but DeMarcus, I'm gonna call it DeMarcus again. Dexter Lawrence. I'm gonna say DeMarcus all the time until he actually engraves his name in my head. But watch Dexter Lawrence here. The left guard took pretty good care of him on this play on the Jets. He was getting double teamed. I actually didn't realize the center was there too, but he got knocked out of the play. and that actually left Lorenzo Carter open. So that's the type of play where, it's not going to show up in the stat sheet for Dexter Lawrence, but he was accounted for by 2 or 3 guys, basically, that left Lorenzo Carter wide open for the tackle. So, you know what? He didn't make the tackle, but he was definitely accounted for by the Jets' offensive line right there. I think they show a replay of it as well. Here's Dexter Lawrence. And watch how many guys are on him. I mean, it was 2, and then the left tackle for the Jets went for Ogletree. Carter, of course, left wide open. And yeah, so it's good to see, though, that Dexter Lawrence is being accounted for by these offensive lines, and they know they have to take care of him because he can disrupt the game. So if he's getting double teamed, triple teamed, that's good news for us, and definitely good news for the guys playing around him. So here we're on a 2nd and 10, and luckily it was Trevor Siemian at quarterback. I mean, he was given a lot of time. Freaking volume's on. But he was given a lot of time to throw here. Had a pretty clean pocket. I think this was Lawrence here getting some pressure up the middle. Golden got some pressure on the outside, but, I mean, any good quarterback would have stepped up. He took the easy route here, but if this was a better quarterback, I think he would have waited for this receiver here to break in. I think it was him. Let's take a look. No, it was the slot guy, actually. So right here, he would break in. He probably would have been open over the middle. So, I mean, a better quarterback than Siemian probably would have completed a longer pass here, but luckily it was Trevor Siemian, so they got away with it. Some good gang tackling. Believe Love went for the strip there, so hey, that's good tackling. And, they need a better pass rush, though. As I'm saying, if it's a better quarterback, the Giants would definitely be taken advantage of there. I mean, I feel like if Sam Darnold was still in the game, that might have been another 15 to 20-yard gain. So the Giants definitely need to get more pressure than what they were doing in this game. So here, this is similar to the last play we just went over. And, Siemian once again takes the easy route. I'm probably not going to stop it too much. This is pretty self-explanatory. I feel like a better quarterback might have tried to get out of the pocket and make a play here, but goes for the 1 or 2 yard gain. But in this situation, right about here, I think a better quarterback probably would have tried to go through. And Simeon's kind of mobile too. I mean, he's not that fast, but he's still capable of moving out of the pocket. I'm surprised he didn't try to, get out to this area and try to make a throw on the run, or even try to run for the first down or something like that. So that's surprising, and this is something Eli Manning would do, which would drive me crazy. I mean, the footwork's terrible. Throws across his body, makes a good throw, but definitely could have made a bigger play happen if he were to step out of the pocket to the left here, as I was saying. But hey, we'll take it. It's the Jets, so screw it. Who cares? So now the fun part, get to evaluate Daniel Jones. Here's his first pass, the one to Latimer for about 4.5, 5 yards. I mean, this was the only not perfect throw he made, and I think it was a tiny bit high, but I'm probably being too picky. Obviously, you don't want your receiver to leave his feet at that point. But there's a lot to like here. I mean, he's definitely decisive, knew where he was going with the ball, tight spiral. I don't know if they show a replay. Oh, they do actually show a replay. The spirals he throws are beautiful, honestly. I mean, we've seen some wobbly balls from Eli the last few years, but Daniel Jones definitely throws a tight spiral. So here was the first play where we honestly saw the new offensive line perform very well. And there's a lot of guys to look at on this play whenever it starts. So first, let's look at a new right guard, Kevin Zeitler, on this play. Let's just watch him real quick. Number 70 right here. Gets a hold of a linebacker, takes good care of him. I think that's Avery Williamson, if I had to guess. I think he's 54. So there's also a few other guys that made nice plays. Let's look at Remmers now at right tackle, 74. His man was kind of out of the play, but still, good job there. And Jalapio at center, let's watch him. Takes care of his man as well, creates a hole for Gallman to get through. And this is Wayne Gallman. I mean, imagine Saquon Barkley with this line. Jeez. I think this is Red Ellison out here. He made a nice block as well. Well, just watch Red Ellison. I mean, he was blocking his guy to the whistle. Did exactly what you're supposed to do. I mean, this guy wasn't really in the play, but if this play went for a bigger gain, then his block would have meant a lot more. But you like to see that. I mean, I've always liked Red Ellison for his blocking. Seems like an underrated pass catcher as well. So, I mean, I'm hoping that he sticks around this year. He might get cut next year, Ellison, but we'll see what happens with him this year. But happy he's on my team. So here we have Daniel Jones' second pass, and it was just crazy accurate. Love this play. Golden Tate doing what he's been doing for the last like 9 years in the NFL. Cuts in from the slot, perfectly placed ball. Nice spiral once again by Mr. Jones. And that was pretty much what Sam Darnold was doing to us before, just like taking one step and then firing, hitting him in stride for a first down. They probably show a replay of this. And that's the thing, like when you get your run going, you could do play actions and they actually work. Let's see if this actually drew in some linebackers from the Jets. I'm kind of curious if it did or not. They kind of crept up a bit. Yeah, you could see this guy over here. He was kind of biting on the run. I think this guy too was probably biting on the run. Both of them came in. I mean, he was going anyway, but this guy right here kind of fell for it, and that was the reason this window here was open. So the play action definitely, the Jets had to respect it at that point because Wayne Gallman had a couple nice runs on this drive. So right here is the reason as to why this pass was completed. So definitely, I mean, he did make the tackle, but still wasn't able to get in the passing lane, which is all that matters. But I think Pat Shurmur was calling a nice game in this one as well. I mean, I think people haven't realized that. As you guys know, I'm a pretty big Shurmur fan, so I do think he did a nice job calling plays in this one. This was my favorite play from Daniel Jones and the offensive line of the night. This is like the kind of pocket that Tom Brady gets on a regular basis. Shots fired, Tom Brady, sorry. But everything was perfect here. Everything. Steps into the throw, perfect. Another tight spiral, Latimer makes a nice play, some yards after the catch, and just a really nice play by the Giants there. They showed Latimer running this route. He wasn't even touched. The offensive line, terrific job. I just want to watch it again. I mean, everyone here did a fantastic job. There's a wall. There's just a legit wall. And the Jets are sending how many? 1, 2, 3, 4. It's still a 5-man rush. I mean, 5.5. I don't know what the hell this man's doing over here. He's probably guarding Penny, but little did they know Penny was not going out for a pass. Daniel Jones does what he's doing, steps into it, and they show Latimer's route here. Obviously a zone defense for the Jets, but hey, it worked. So here's another nice run from Wayne Gallman, and a lot of it was due to the offensive line. Nate Solder did a great job here. Will Hernandez did a great job here. Actually, no, it wasn't Will Hernandez. Who am I thinking of? Who is this? A lot of guys bunched up over here. I'm sorry. I mean, it's so much easier from the other view, but the unfortunately Game Pass did not give us the coach's film, so I have to watch from this version. But it's probably Red Ellison once again. I think this is Ellison. It's 80. There's a 5, so I'm assuming it's 85. So Ellison does again. It is 85. Look at that. Ellison does a great job on his guy blocking. Even in the secondary here, I think I saw an 8, so that's probably Benny Fowler. But Nate Solder, I think, somewhere, I don't know, I think this is Solder right here. He did a nice job on this play as well. Yes, he did. Created that lane to get to the outside. Had his man locked up. So it's just one of those things. I mean, that's honestly, this is the whole reason why I wasn't really on board with drafting a running back, because I feel the offensive line is so much more important. If you have a good offensive line, I mean, there's so many athletic running backs who are capable of finding running lanes, and Wayne Gallman's not a special back, obviously, but if he's playing with a good offensive line, he can do stuff like this. But I am happy we have Saquon Barkley, because I feel like if Barkley was running here, he probably would have somehow scored on this play, because that's what Barkley does. So it's unfortunate he wasn't playing. Actually, no, I'm happy he's not playing in the preseason. I'm actually very happy. I hope the Giants keep him bubble wrapped and stuff like that. I don't want him seeing the field in this whole preseason, so please keep him on the sideline. So now we're back to Daniel Jones making a nice throw on the out route to Benny Fowler here. And this, it doesn't look like a great throw. I mean, if you're just watching it, you're probably thinking, it's whatever, it's just a regular throw. But honestly, the ball placement here was really good. I'll just play it for you guys. Knew exactly where he was going with the ball. But if he throws that ball too much inside, this guy could have intercepted it right here on the Jets, obviously. So let's say this ball was thrown too much inside here. I mean, instead of going for the ball or for Fowler, he could have undercut the ball. So it's just a really nice placed ball by Daniel Jones, and another thing you like to see there. So another positive sign from the Giants' young quarterback. As I said, I think he did pretty much everything perfect in this start. I mean, as I said in the reaction video, there's another tight spiral. He looked like he's been playing for like 8 to 10 years in the NFL. I mean, he looked so cool and calm, and just everything looked great from Daniel Jones. I'm so excited for what he's going to do the rest of this preseason and when he plays in the regular season, even though some of you don't think he will play in the regular season, but believe me, he will. And of course, here's the play that got Giants fans out of their seats anywhere, whether it was at the stadium, whether it was on your couch, or whether you were driving. Didn't matter. Every Giants fan was very pumped about this play. And he goes to his main man, Benny Fowler, once again. Another well-placed ball. That was just like the previous throw, except it was 10 yards further. Another really well-placed ball. The offensive line is loving it. When the offensive line loves the quarterback, that's also a good sign. I'm sure they love Eli too, but it's nice to see that. Hope they show a replay of the throw. Of course they do. Look at the eyes of Daniel Jones, focused. I mean, I don't like that he's staring down one guy, but hey, it worked. I don't care. I run this route in Madden a lot. It works pretty much every time. Nice call by Pat Shurmur. Pat Shurmur's playing Madden over there, making things work. But in reality, I mean, this is a really nice throw from Daniel Jones. I mean, once again, looking like that 8 to 10 year veteran. And you know what Eli Manning probably would have done on this play? And, I'm not trying to kill Eli here, but you know what Eli would have done here? He would have went right here. Boom, right there. He would not have taken this shot and went for this corner of the end zone ball. But hey, Daniel Jones, tight spiral, right spot. Benny Fowler catches the touchdown. Awesome stuff. Actually, this is the last video, so I should be saying goodbye. So I appreciate you guys watching this. If you want more breakdowns like this for future Giants videos, let me know in the comments. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll talk to you next time.